wanted to ask someone if you can give perspective is, when it comes to the religion, is there like a codified book where no matter what people do, people can always refer to that particular book and go back to the source? I know you mentioned Aboriginal religion is somehow, I think, oral.
Yeah.
But is there like a text? Like
Okay. This guy, Paul Lacombe, introduced the syllabic system of writing for the Indians, so that they could translate the scriptures of the Bible into Cree, Blackfoot, Ojibwe, He gave it to the Blackfoot first. Blackfoot said, what? They took it and he gave it to the Crees, and they ran with it. It's really big. So the description of what you're talking about, the faith, that's where we are today because of this. And the term that I use, and it really gets people mad, the hell is it? The term I use for all these Indians who are not wanting to understand, respect their own faith, are crossbreeds. So, that means you're so brainwashed from all of this, Indian, intergenerational, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, now 5 and 6 generations are coming up from that time. Okay? They have no connection to their faith because it has been worn down, eroded, laughed at, ridiculed, condemned, all that thing by the different faiths, not just the Catholics, the Methodists, the Anglicans, the Mormons, the Evangelicals. Everybody says that Indian is the devil's religion. That's the devil. That's what they were saying. Okay? So in today's date, right here, there's a really good article that came out and is describing the Cree Ojibwe from Winnipeg, that area, their structure. They're describing their structure and they're putting in writing really clear so that Joe Blow citizen can read it, understand it, and say, okay, there's something tangible there. I can understand it. So that's the funny thing about white people and other cultures. If they write it down, they'll believe it. So it's just depending on who's writing it, right? So, I'm having this discussion with my own people right now to actually put it in a diagram that says, here is this, here's this, here's this, because we all know, I'm from that, we're actually doing it. But nobody wants to step up and say, okay, let's draw a picture and put how it is. Because they're afraid of this. Right? Check the BC ledge. Is it still out there? Are they still saying you can go to jail for practicing your faith? Probably is. The other thing in Eastern Canada is still there, but the Skelp, 200 years old, and it's still there too. Legislative act that says you can go and do this. Right? Until, and this is where I am personally, right here. Because of my office, my faith, I've been bugging the Department of National Defense since here to become a chaplain in the military. A priest, a mullah, a rabbi. Those are the three that you have to know to be a chaplain in the military. That way, if somebody dies or is dying, you can give them the Muslim, the Christian, or the Jew send-off. But you Indians, we're not recognized. We're not recognized there, we're not recognized there. And Korea, and Vietnam, and Afghanistan. All these other places. Our Indian faith, you go in there, kids go in the army and they get killed, shot, or whatever, they want counseling, it doesn't exist. Okay, so that is going back to this thing here. Okay, very important to have the acknowledgement and recognition of faith in a legal format. Now, why is that a problem? Well, say we get this thing done, and we say, okay, the Blackfoot faith is going to be recognized. Boom. Why? So I can marry respectfully Blackfoot people. So I can baptize respectfully Blackfoot people. So I can put in the ground respectfully Blackfoot people with the Blackfoot faith. Just like you get it from the synagogue, the temple, and every other place in this damn city, but you can't get it from India. Because of this. Colonialism. And we got to get those guys civilized, and we're being told it's okay by these guys, who are PhDs, masters from this. And my peers, they don't like what I'm saying because I'm telling them, hey, I speak English, I can write, I know how to run a computer, I can go get a PhD. Why can't we get our faith recognized properly? Why? Because you guys are still being this. Yes, Mr. White Man, whatever you say, Mr. White Man. And legally, it's still there. The Indian Act. Legally, it's still there in 2014, which controls